Developers are seemingly frightened that angry gamers not able to beat their tutorial levels will vent their frustrations online and stop other people from, making them a bunch of money. But it never used to be like that. Game companies weren't always pushing out first-person shooters that kept you on the rails, or games that let you save or respawn at checkpoints when you got killed for the 18th time. No, they were taking you behind the bike shed, trousers down with a Bunsen burner up the back passage. But some games did go a little too far, crossing the line between challenging and insanely difficult. With that in mind, I'm Jules from WhatCulture.com, and here are 10 of the most insanely difficult video games ever made. Number 10. The Adventures of Bayou Billy. Likely the name of this game alone has got you frowning intently at the screen, so it's probably no surprise that The Adventures of Bayou Billy isn't particularly well known for its quality. It is known, however, for its teeth-grindingly awful programming and enemies that refuse to f***ing die. These guys come at Billy like a Jeremy Kyle guest, relentlessly punching and kicking their way through the levels. The problem is that the enemies have just about as much health as old Billy himself, making the game not only terribly difficult, but terribly terrible. And if that wasn't bad enough, there are dozens of dumb surprises waiting for Billy as he navigates the stages, like an alligator, for example, which jumps out and kills you the second you step into a pool of water, giving you no time to react. Absolute joy. Number 9. Castlevania. Castlevania set a kind of standard for insanely difficult games, a bastion for razor-sharp rotor blades, awkward enemy placements, and insta-kill lava pools. And though Castlevania is undoubtedly a difficult game, you get a real sense that it takes pride in this difficulty. Take a look at the way that each level is laid out. It's as if the devs wanted to ensure that every single touch of your controller has to be perfectly timed. Then there's the endless array of enemies designed to purposely salt your steak, most of which will knock you down to half health should they hit you once. Oh, and there's the fact that you can't move while jumping. Top draw. Number 8. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Yes, this thing exists, and presumably the programmers were instructed to make the game about as difficult as facing off against the real Mike Tyson while being intoxicated in an alleyway, because that's how insane this game is. Punch-Out is so hard in fact that its name alone has become a kind of synonym for impossible games. Because the harder you try to beat this one, the more likely it is that you simply won't. You can't save and you can't continue, you just have to journey to the very end, clinging to your nerves like an utter junkie, where Mike Tyson, the Goliath of final bosses that he is, awaits you. And that's the end of the game, because few have ever beaten Tyson. "I don't want nobody to be able to beat me at the end," Tyson must have said in a less effeminate voice before this thing went into production. "I don't want nobody to beat me. I don't want no..." No, I can't do it. And neither could your little pint-sized prick, so you might as well just give up. Number 7. The Oregon Trail. The idea behind the Oregon Trail, which is an educational game by the way, is to grant children a taste of the old pioneer days, and by that I mean dysentery, death, and all other forms of dilemmas which kids really shouldn't have to deal with. Yes, the Oregon Trail required only that you survive and click continue to see what happens next. And usually next means your death, because no matter what plans or decisions you made, it all was completely random anyway. Basically impossible to conquer, the Oregon Trail remains a super realistic portrait of pioneer life that confirms the one thing we already knew to be true anyway, that pioneer life f***ing sucks. Number 6. Discworld. If you value basic things like, your logic, then it's probably best you don't grab a copy of Discworld anytime soon. Based on the Terry Pratchett novels of the same name, this puzzle-solving point-and-click extravaganza forced players to try and work things out without any basis of normality. The puzzles were so obscure and so illogical you'd been better suited just clicking around and hoped it solved itself. Obviously it's Discworld and logical isn't exactly the first thing that springs to mind, but come on. And when we say obscure puzzles, we really mean obscure puzzles. They're as insane as like picking up a key, wiping it on a toadstool, plucking the toadstool, feeding it to a frog, drinking the frog's unrealized sense of doubt, taking the frog to market to unlock a door. Okay, I mean that one's made up, but it's not far off the truth. Number 5. Ninja Gaiden Black. The boss fights. Ask any Ninja Gaiden Black player and the first thing they'll remember about this game is the boss fights, and not in a good way. Unlike a quirky dungeon boss in Zelda or something, it's a cruel, unrelenting and semi-disturbing experience, kind of like every inch of your soul is being sucked out of your body. Then of course there's the never-ending barrage of enemies that attack you all at once the moment you turn your console on. Ninja Gaiden Black was created as a response to players who thought that Ninja Gaiden was too tough. The fact that this game would ask you if you wanted to lower the difficulty means that the developers even caught on to the fact that they created an absolute monster. But it also served as a swipe at your dignity. "Oh, is it too hard for the ickle gamer? Let's make it easy for you, poor little baby." Number 4. Demon's Souls. Strictly speaking, this entry includes all of the games associated with this title because they're all equally insanely difficult, and also because they're apparently proud of that fact. But unlike the other games here, Demon's Souls actually found itself somewhat praised for its difficulty level. Presumably it's because it provided a genuine challenge to avid gamers who've had to put up with genuinely easy games for the past decade or so. Demon's Souls just took no prisoners, and it shocked everyone as a result. Why is it so hard, you ask? Well, how about a lack of health items, brutally insane boss fights, a lack of checkpoints, players who come into your world specifically to murder your ass? Besides that, many of the enemies you encounter can kill you in 2 to 3 hits. Simply put, it's a game of patience and learning, but one that makes you feel very damn good about yourself should you succeed. Number 3. Contra. Unlike most retro entries on this list, Contra, like my girlfriend, doesn't respect you from the very beginning, which makes for a highly turbulent and frustrating relationship from day one. Picture it like mistakenly bunking up with Hitler. You don't like him because, I mean, come on, he's Hitler, and he doesn't like you, but mainly because you won't stop talking about how hard Contra is. Poised as a Rambo-like maverick, your mission was to save planet Earth from alien scum. Despite being considered a genuine classic, Contra was unbelievably tough. And although many have completed it thanks to the infamous Konami code which gave you 30 lives, attempting to conquer this on just 3 is like storming the beaches of Normandy on D-Day solo with a neon sign above your head saying "Jog on, Jerry." Number 2. Battletoads. Presumably taking their cues from mutant turtles of a certain fame, Battletoads had you taking control of anthropomorphic amphibians through a whole host of stages designed to break your mind and my balls. Be it the Turbo Tunnel, a stage so intricately insane that an Apache pilot would give up after the first go, or the snake bit, but you'll probably never get that far. And maybe that's the point, maybe the devs are still laughing at you to this very day, those smug, beautiful bastards. Number 1. Ghosts and Goblins. Ghosts and Goblins. Name sounds kind of cute, really, doesn't it? I mean, it's kind of sort of like tricky and spooky, like Ghosts and Goblins. Sounds a little bit like a kid's game. But oh dear, what's this? Seriously, Ghosts and Goblins is the video game equivalent of being smashed in the mouth by a delinquent wielding a hammer, and once you've managed to rehabilitate yourself and gain the confidence to go back outdoors, that same hammer-wielding attacker is waiting for you with his bigger brother. This NES platform, which sees you going on a knight's quest to rescue a princess, has most definitely earned its reputation as an insanely unfair exercise in degrading human dignity. As you move through various levels, the game's enemies, presumably programmed by the devil himself, will swoop in at impossible angles to damage you. 2 hits and it's back to the start. And because apparently it wasn't hard enough, finishing the game will prompt it to restart at a harder difficulty before you can truly complete it. Why? Because everything you just did was an illusion, you schmuck. Who the hell said that old games were better? And that's our list. Got any more gaming frustrations you'd like to vent to us? Then do so in the comment section below. And if you'd like to non-tangibly punch my smug face, then you can do so here and here. If you enjoyed the video, then like, share and subscribe. I've been Jules for WhatCulture.com, and I'll see you soon.